Guys, I believe Ilia Topuria is the next featherweight champion of the world. I think he's going to beat Alexander Volkanovski. I think Alexander Volkanovski's championship run is coming to an end. And I hate to be the lone wolf, but I've been here before. I was here with the Tom Aspinall Sergey Pavlovich fight as well. I believe Ilia Topuria is going to beat Volkanovski. I think Volkanovski is coming back way too soon. There is an age factor involved with it as well, of course. But I believe he's coming back too soon off of a devastating knockout to a guy in Islam Makhachev. And I think that Volkanovski, in his eyes, might be overlooking Ilia a little bit. I genuinely think Ilia is the biggest threat to his featherweight championship he's faced. I think he's a bigger threat than Brian Ortega. I think he's a bigger threat than Max Holloway. I think he's certainly a bigger threat than Yair Rodriguez. When you look at what the guy like Ilia Topuria was able to do to a guy in Josh Emmett over the course of 5 rounds, beat him from pillar to post. Then the devastating, vicious KO, flatline, right, of a guy in Bryce Mitchell, who Josh Emmett just beat. When I look at a guy like Ilia Topuria, I struggle to find out where Alexander Volkanovski is going to have the edge. Is it in his wrestling? Well, Ilia has very underrated wrestling. And we know when Volkanovski goes to that grappling style heavy approach, something he can do, but it's really not his forte. He's a guy that does everything well, if you ask me, when it comes to Alexander Volkanovski. I don't believe he's going to be the better stand-up guy against a guy like Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria has devastating knockout power in both of his hands, and guess whose chin just got checked? This is a guy that I think also has the grappling advantage, the submission advantage. Volk might have the cardio advantage. He might. I'm not sure. But then again, cardio might be a myth at this point because you look at a guy like Alexander Pantoja, who looks like he's gashed from the second round on. He still finds a way to go out there and defend his belt. Championship medal. Want to. Will. Right? All those things start to creep in. And when I look at a guy like Ilia Topuria, he's made it very clear from the opening since he got in the UFC. My goal is to be the UFC featherweight champion. The guy looks extremely big for the weight class as well. It looks like he could be fighting at bantam. He could be fighting at lightweight, which we've seen him fight at as well. And we saw what he did against Jai Herbert. I get it was Jai Herbert, but we saw what he was able to do up against a bigger guy. I think Ilia Topuria is next for the featherweight championship. And I think his championship run is going to be very, very long because I don't know if I see a contender right now in the featherweight division that would give him fits. Now, a fight that could make sense so much down the line into the future, if both guys continue on their winning ways, meaning Sean O'Malley defeats a guy like Marlon Chito Vera, is maybe Sean O'Malley comes up and he fights Ilia Topuria in a super title fight. I think that fight could make sense. But sticking on the Ilia Topuria train, that we'll have time to talk about that. I think Ilia Topuria is about to snatch the belt away from Volkanovski. And I think it's going to shake up the entire UFC world. But remember, we heard it here first. Ilia Topuria is your new featherweight champion.